Good morning, class 7. We will continue with the chapter A Shirt in the Market. So, you have studied that how the production of a shirt begins and what all is done. We have talked about Swapna, who was a like you can say this is a case study, a small farmer in Kurnool, which is in Andhra Pradesh, and she had taken money from the money lender. So she has borrowed the money, so she has to give it back. And when she had on a condition, she got that money, that once she has got the crop, that is the cotton, she will have to first of all take it to sell it to the money lender. So as she had promised, she did that, and the money lender paid a very less amount for her cotton. So she was little disheartened because of this, but she couldn't do anything because she knew that these people are very powerful. And when we talk about people like Swapna, they are dependent on these traders for the money, for financial help off and on, like maybe the children are ill, or for study purpose, or for some other reasons as well. So she couldn't take, like you can say, she couldn't mm, get him angry. So she has to agree to his terms and condition. Then we have talked about the weavers, how they are they have the power looms at home, and then the whole family is involved in the business, like you know okay. Then we have talked about the weavers cooperative, where just to as the weavers are paid very less by the merchants, so weavers cooperatives have been set up. It's like group, and they take up certain activities collectively, that is together. They procure the yarn from the yarn dealer and distribute it among the weavers. So at times the government helped the cooperatives by buying the cloth from them at a reasonable price. So that much we have done. A garment exporting factory near Delhi. So here the Erode merchant supplies a cotton cloth produced by the weavers to a garment exporting factory near Delhi. The garment exporting factory will use the cloth to make shirt. The shirt will be exported to foreign buyers. Among the foreign buyers are business persons from the US and Europe who run a chain of stores. These large stores do business strictly on their own terms. They demand the lowest prices from the suppliers. In addition, they set high standards for quality of production and timely delivery. Any defects or delay in delivery is dealt with strictly. So the exporters tries his best to meet the conditions set by these powerful buyers. So obviously, there is a deadline on when before that they have to complete it and submit the list. Like you have a deadline to submit your notebooks. So what you people did, you have submitted incomplete work, but here it is not allowed, right? Here the these weavers, they have to do the work on time because that is the demand. Otherwise they will be losing the money, or maybe they will not get the next orders. Faced with such pressures from the buyers, the garment exporting factories in turn tried to cut cost. They got the maximum work out of the workers at the lowest possible wages. This way they can maximize their own profits and also supply the garments to foreign supply buyers at a cheap price. So what happens that these because as you know that India is a populated country, here we have people are more, work is less. So what they do is that they pay very less wage to the workers and try to exploit them for more and more work. In this way the margin of their profit, it increases, right? What are the demands of the foreign buyers? And obviously, so the when they will sell it to the foreign buyers, they will be the one who will be earning more money. Okay, the Impex garment factory has 70 workers. Most of them are women. Most of these workers are employed on a temporary basis. This means that whenever the employer feels that a worker is not needed, the worker can be asked to leave. Workers' wages are fixed according to their skills. The highest paid among the workers are the tailors, who get about Rs 3,000 per month. Women are employed as helpers for thread cutting, buttoning, ironing, and packaging. These jobs have lowest wages. So tailoring is 3000, ironing will per piece 1 rupee 50 paisa, checking rupees 2000, thread cutting and buttoning is rupees 1500. So obviously you can see the difference. The shirt in United States. A number of shirts are on display at a large clothes shop in United States and are priced as $26. That is, each shirt sells for $26 or around 1800. So obviously you can understand how much, like the amount will be, like for $26 is equal to around 1800. It can vary because the amount of dollar in comparison to rupee, it keeps on changing at times, right? So you can see the shirt, profit rupees 900, advertising 400, storage 200, and purchase 300, right? So the business person purchased the shirt from the garment exporter in Delhi for, obviously you can see it here, 300 per shirt. He then spent, how much he had spent? He had spent 400 on advertising in media and another dash for per shirt on storage. So you can say around 200 he has spent on storage. Display and all other charges, thus the cost on this person is rupees 900 while he sells the shirt for rupees 1800. So you can see how much he is earning. So what is the profit on the shirt? You can calculate the amount. So see, 3 to 5, 5, 4, 9, 9, 9, 18. So 1800, that is the amount he is selling. But then he is purchasing the shirt in just rupees 300. The garment exporter sold the shirt as rupees 300 per piece. The cloth and other raw material cost him rupees 100 per shirt. The worker's wages cost another rupees 25 per shirt. The cost of running his office came to rupees 25 per shirt. Can you calculate the profit per shirt for the garment exporter? So that is something which you can do on your own. Who are the gainers in the market? A chain of market links the producer of cotton to the buyer at the supermarket. Buying and selling takes place at every step in the chain. Let us recall who were the people who were involved in this process of buying and selling. Did they all gain as much? There were people who made profit in market and there were some who did not gain as much from this buying and selling. Despite their having toiled very hard, they earned little. Can you place them in the table shown here? So people who gain in the market, you have to place them here, and people who didn't gain in the market, you have to place them here. Sorry. So you can see that people like weavers, they are the ones who are not gaining much of a profit, then who are involved in this process of buying and selling. So now then the seller is the one who is gaining the maximum profit, or the merchant, right? Market and equality. The foreign business person made huge profits in the market. Compared to this, the garment exporter made only moderate profit. On the other hand, the earnings of the workers at the garment export factory are barely enough to cover their day-to-day needs. Similarly, we saw the small cotton farmer and the weaver at Erode put in long hours of hard work, but they did not get a fair price in the market for what they produced. The merchants or traders are somewhere in between. Compared to the weavers, they have earned more, but it is still much less than the exporter. Thus, not everyone gains equally in the market. Democracy is also about getting a fair wage in the market. Whether it is Kanta or Swapna, if families don't earn enough, how would they think of themselves as equal to others? So obviously you can say that, see the difference in the earning, and when like when you talk about a domestic help or a person who is working like this, if they are not getting the equal amount for the like working the whole day, then how can they consider themselves to be a part of the mainstream, right? On one hand, the market offers people opportunities for work to be able to sell things that they grow or produce. It could be the farmer selling cotton or the weaver producing cloth. On the other hand, it is usually the rich and the powerful that get the maximum earnings from the market. These are the people who have money and own the factories, the large shops, large land holdings, etc. The poor have to depend on the rich and the powerful for various things. They have to depend for loans, as in case of Sapna, the small farmer, for raw materials and marketing of their goods, weavers in the putting out system, and most often for employment, workers at the garment factory. Because of this dependence, the poor are exploited in the market. There are ways to overcome these, such as forming cooperatives of producers and ensuring that laws are followed strictly. In the last chapter, we will read about how one such fish worker cooperative was started on the Tawa River. So, like the way we have cooperatives for the weavers, same ways the cooperatives should be set up so that the people are getting equal amount or at least a decent amount for their hard work. So with this we finish the chapter here. Question answers I will be sending you in the next class. Thank you. Take care of yourselves.